Hi everybody, it's Crystal. Welcome to my channel, Bagoday Crochet. And today I have a tutorial for you. Now this was a very much requested tutorial. So this is a granny square, as you can see. And in the middle is a paw print. Puppy paw print, kitty paw print, bunny paw print, whatever kind of paw print you want it to be. I'm going to show you today how to turn this paw print into a square on this video. I already have a video for the paw print itself right here. And I will put a link to that video tutorial below in the description box. And I'll also put it in the comment section. It'll be the very first comment at the top, and it'll be from me. And it'll take you and it'll show you how to make this puffy paw print. I actually made it a keychain, but you could use these for anything. Scrubbies for your face, scrubbies for dishes, pads for cups, or whatever you want to do with it. But this is going to be to square it off, because I had a lot of people ask me if I would square it off so they could make a blanket out of it. I thought, you know, that's a good idea. Why don't we do that? So if you haven't made this already, follow the link below in the comment section or in the description box and make you up some puffy paw prints, and then I'm going to show you how to square it off in this video. As you can see, that the square is the paw print that is in the square. It is cockeyed like this. It is not straight across. A lot of people asked if I can make it cockeyed so it would appear when it was put together that, you know, the animal was walking, I suppose. So it was meant to be, I made it to where the paw print was cockeyed on a square like that. Okay, and this square is about 8 inches across. All right, and I think the paw print itself was about 4, if I remember right. Now the yarn that I used is the same yarn that I used for the paw print pattern, which if you've already made that, you know it is Premier Basic. It's just a 4-weight 100% acrylic yarn. You can use any weight of yarn actually that you want. Some people I've seen even make earrings out of these little paw prints in like thread. So cute. But anyways, once you get your paw print made, oh, and we're going to be using a size I, which is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook to square this off. All right, so once you get your paw print made, now this part is very, very important. You see the part that we went around it here? You need to count your stitches. You have to have the correct count. We need 68 stitches all the way around. Now that part is very, very important, because if we don't have that, we won't be able to properly evenly square it off. So if you don't have 68, which I don't, I counted mine and I have 65. Everybody might have a different number. For this one, I think I had 67. So it kind of just depended on how you went up your puff stitches. You know, there's no right or wrong answer, but right now we need to make it right at 68. So you go ahead and take whatever color that you're going to be using for the main part of your square here. And so we're going to add or subtract the amount of stitches that we need to total 68. So since I have a 65 here all the way around, I need to add 3 stitches, just kind of evenly spacing them out. So we're going to be doing single crochet all the way around. I'm going to start right here in this corner. All right, that's probably your best bet to start in, right here. That's where I would recommend. Okay, so this first round is going to be a round of single crochet, and we're going to be evening out our piece. 68 stitches. So make sure you count so you know how many you need to add or take away. So go ahead and chain 1 and go back into that same stitch and do a single crochet. So now we're going to start counting. So I'm putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. But remember, I have to add, since I have 65 stitches all the way around, I have to add 3 more single crochets somewhere to total 68. So if you have 65, you're going to need to add 3. If you have 69, you're going to have to do a single crochet decrease and take one away. It doesn't matter where you add them. I kind of just do a few single crochets right there would be good. So I'm going to put 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Okay, so that's me adding a stitch. So there we go. I put 2 single crochets in that one stitch. So now I've added one of the 3 stitches that I need. Now I'm going to continue around with my single crochet until I've added a total of 3 stitches. Now remember, yours might be different depending on how many stitches you have. You could have to add 10, you could have to take away 5. Whatever gets you to 68 stitches. Now, if you don't know how to take away, I'll show you real quick, but I don't have to take any away, but I'll show you. If you have like 69 or 70 stitches, that means you need to take away. If you have 70, you'll need to take away 2. Here's how you do the decrease. You go into the next stitch and draw up a loop, and then the next one and draw up a loop. You'll have 3 loops. You yarn over and go through all 3. So what that did is that took 2 stitches and made it into 1. So that took away 1 of your stitches. Now that's only if you need to take away, if you have over 68 stitches. So I'm going to continue around. I've already added 1 stitch by putting 2 single crochets in the same stitch. I'm going to continue around until I add my other 2, because like I said, I had 65 and I want a total of 68. It's very important that you have a total of 68 all the way around. Who knows, some of you might be lucky and you already have the 68, and if you already have the 68, you just go around with 1 single crochet in every stitch and you don't need to add or take away anything. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 into my next stitch. So there we go, I've added another, so now I've added 2. So I'm going to continue around putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. And I'll add 1 more before I get back to my starting point. There'll be 1 more stitch that I'll put 2 single crochets in. And then when I get back around, I'll have a total of 68 stitches. Remember, that's what you need to have. So I'll meet back up with you at our starting point. It's okay if it's curving in. We'll take care of that later. Alright, so I have made it around and I counted and I now have 68 stitches. Remember, you have to have 68 stitches. So we're going to go ahead and end. We'll call this round 1 of squaring off our paw here. And we're going to end by slip stitching into our first single crochet. Not the chain one, but the first single crochet. Go into it and slip stitch. I'm going to go ahead and cut that tail off there on the back so it's not hanging around there. Okay, now what we're going to do, I think it's easiest if we're going to place some stitch markers. I'm going to use a piece of yarn for a stitch marker. So this is going to consist of, we have to have 4 points for our square. See that? So we're going to mark off our 4 points. This is going to be our first point, all right? This one right here. If you want to put a stitch marker in it, you can, where we just started. But actually, I'm going to go ahead and put a stitch marker in it. That way I can see a little bit better. So go back into that stitch that you just slip stitched into and put a stitch marker of some kind like that. Now we're going to count 16 stitches, not counting the one that we just put our stitch marker in. So counting the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the next one, so the 17th one, we're going to put a marker into that one, and that is going to be a point of our square or corner. All right, now we're going to count again 16 stitches. We do not count the one that our marker is in, so starting with the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and into the next one, the 17th one, that's where we put our marker. So that will be a corner. Let's do it again. Remember, we don't count the one that our marker's in, the next one over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the 17th one, I'm going to put a marker. Now if we count, we should have 16 stitches in between this marker that we just did and the very first marker, not counting the stitch that our marker's in. Yes, 16. All right. Okay, let's move on to number 2. So we got our corners marked off for our square. So let's begin. So this row is going to be very easy. Row 2 of our squaring off, we're going to chain 1. Okay, we're going to go back into the same stitch here that our stitch marker's in, and we're going to work a half double crochet, chain 2, and one more half double crochet. So there is a corner of our square, and we can take that stitch marker out. Now we're going to work a half double crochet in every stitch until we get to the next stitch marker. So it should be 16 stitches. Okay, my last one is 16. It's the one right before the marker. Now, in the space where the marker is, we're going to do another corner. So it's going to go into that spot, and we work one half double, a chain of 2, and another half double into that same spot with the marker. And that is corner number 2. We can take that marker out, get rid of it. We don't need that anymore. And this is what we're going to do all the way around until we get back to our starting point. So we just work one half double crochet in every stitch until we get to the next marker. And in the stitch that has a marker, we work our corner for this row, which is one half double, a chain 2, and one half double. So I'm going to continue this all the way around, and I will meet back up with you when we make it back to our starting point. It's going to look a little funny for a little bit, but don't worry, we'll get it. Alright, so I've made it to the end of round 2, and we're going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into our first half double crochet, and you should have a total of 72 stitches now. 72 is our magic number now. Now we're going to start row 3. We're going to slip stitch into this chain 2 spacer. Okay, now that's our corner space. We're going to do a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that chain of 4 is going to count as a triple crochet. Then we're going to go back into the same stitch, and we're going to work another triple crochet like that, and we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to go back into the same spot and work 2 more triples. So we're getting these tall stitches in there. So that is the corner. It's 2 triples, chain 2, 2 triples. Now we're going to work along this side. Now these sides will be different because the paw print is going cockeyed, so there's going to be different on each side, so please bear with me. So we're going to be working from this side to this point. Okay, we're going to start off with a triple crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to work a double crochet into the next 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3, like that. Now we're going to work a half double into the next 2. Half double, there's 1 and 2. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to half double into the next 2. So there's 1, 2, and then we're going to do a double into the next 3. So there's 1 double, 2 doubles, 3 doubles, and then we are going to triple into the next. And if you look right there, it's that stitch right there. So yeah, triple crochet into that, like that. And now we're going to work in this chain 2 space, and we're going to put 2 triple crochets. So there's 1, there's 2, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to go back into the same chain 2 space and work 2 more triple crochets. There's 1, and there is 2. So we got one side done, and I know it doesn't look extremely well, but we'll get it. We will get it. So now we're going to work on this side right here, from this point to this point. All right. So now from this corner to this corner, it's a little similar, but there is one difference. Okay, we're going to do a triple crochet into the next stitch, and then a double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3, and now we're just going to put 1 half double into the next, and now we're going to put a single into the next 8 this time. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now we're going to put 1 half double into the next, 1 double into the next 3. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then a triple. Remember, it goes right here. These little half double crochets are funny from the previous row. Right there, we put a triple into that stitch right there. And now we are at our next corner. So into the chain 2 space, we work 2 triples, a chain 2, and 2 triples. So there's 1, 2, we're going to chain 2 and work 2 more triples. There's 1, and there is 2. So now we have 2 sides done. Still looking a bit wonky. That's okay. We got a couple more rows to straighten it out still. All right, so now we're going to go from this point to this point. All right, now this one's pretty easy. So we already did in the corner 2 triples, chain 2, 2 triples. The next stitch we're going to work 1 double. And now we're going to work a half double crochet in every stitch until we get to our last stitch of the row. Half doubles. So I'm going to keep going with the half double, and I'll meet back up with you at the last stitch of the row. Alright, so I half doubled to my last stitch. Remember, the last stitch is, here's the chain 2 space. It's always that little spot right there. We're going to put a double into that spot. And now in the corner, we're going to do our 2 triples. There's 1, 2, a chain of 2, and 2 more triples. Just like that. So we got that side down. Now we have one more side here to do, and after this it gets easy peasy. Alright, so now what we're going to do for this last section here, we're going to put 1 triple crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to put a double crochet into the next 2. So there's 1 double, the next one is 2 doubles, and they're going to put a half double into the next 2. So 1 half double there, 1 half double into the next, and now we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to put a half double crochet into the next 2. There's 1 and 2. And we're going to put a double crochet into the next 2. So this is where we started. So there is a slip stitch right here, but so a double crochet into the next 2. There's 1 double, 1 double, and then we need to put a triple into the last, and if you look, it's this slip stitch right here from the ending of the previous row. So triple crochet, it's kind of tight, into that slip stitch like that, and then we're going to end by putting a slip stitch into the top of our beginning chain 4. Now like that, and that is going to end row 1, 2, 3 of our squaring process. I know. Looks kind of like a panda bear, don't it? Okay. All right, row 4. Hopefully, just if we do it right, just maybe, this will square it off. Are you ready? Very easy now. Okay, we're going to slip stitch 2 times to our chain 2 space. So there's 1 and 2, and I apologize, you should have had 88 stitches at the end of that last round. All right, now we're going to chain 1, and we are going to work 1 double crochet, chain of 2, and 1 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. Now we're just going to work 1 double crochet in every single stitch across until we get to our next chain 2 space. So I'm going to continue putting 1 double in every stitch, and I'll meet back up with you at this chain 2 space. Alright, so I've made it all the way across with 1 double crochet in every stitch. So I'm at my chain 2 space here, and in the chain 2 space I'm going to work 1 double, chain 2, and 1 double. And then I'm going to repeat this process all the way around the entire wonky piece here that I have. We're going to be doing 1 double crochet in every stitch, and then 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet into each of the corner chain 2 spaces. All right, so this is just a double crochet row. So continue this, 1 double in every stitch, and then at your next chain 2 space you work 1 double, chain 2, 1 double, and then continue around again. And repeat that process until you make it back to your starting point, and that's where I'll meet back up with you. All right, so I made it back around to my starting point. I want to end with a slip stitch into my first double crochet. You should have 96 stitches now, this time around. And I'm going to switch colors. Now, if you want to make your square bigger, you can just keep going around in that same row 4 for as big as you want your square to be. It'll just keep increasing in size. I'm going to clip this off. Now, I know it looks a little funny. This square might benefit from a little bit of a blocking, but once you get it sewn together, it will look better. But like I said, making that paw print at the side like that took a little bit of, you know, cockeyedness there. Since it swaps out there, but then it goes kind of flat or more around here at the bottom. Anyways, I'm going to do one more round here. Round 5 is going to be the finishing round. I'm going to do a round of single crochet in the opposite color, the color I used here. So what I'm going to do is start in any one of these chain 2 spaces, pull my yarn through, going to chain 1, and I'm going to work 3 single crochets into that chain 2 space. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to work around my entire piece, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch until I get to my next chain 2 space. And then when I get to my next chain 2 space, I will put 3 single crochets into that spot, and then continue right along, repeating my pattern of 1 single crochet in every stitch and 3 single crochets in each of the corners. This will help straighten it out a bit as well. Add a nice edge to it. So I'm going to work around with my single crochets. Remember, 1 in each stitch, 3 in each corner. All right. And I'll meet back up with you at my starting point right there. All right, so I've made it all the way around, and I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first single crochet. You should have 108 stitches now, and I'm going to tie this off. Hide any tails here. So let me flip my work over here, see what I got going on. So these I hid as I was crocheting, so I can go ahead and clip them off. This one as well. And then I'll get a yarn needle and we'll go ahead and hide this last one here. Get it on and finished here. So what you do if you want a nice clean edge here, go back, take your yarn needle and go back into the stitch that you slip stitched into. And that should give a little tug, give you a nice clean edge. Flip it around the back, weave it in like that, and then go back to the opposite direction, and that'll lock it into place so it doesn't come undone. And then you can clip that off. Now let's flip this over. Now you will have to fiddle with it just a bit, because like I said, it was an awkward granny square, and it was even more awkward making it cockeyed like that. So but yes, it turns out nice. And then once you make a few of them and get them sewn together, they'll straighten out even more. Oh, that would be cute. That would make a really cute blanket, or even a bag if you sewed 2 of them together for, like, you know, like, and just left the top open, put a little strap on it, and that would be adorable too. You could use cotton and make these, sew 2 of them together and make them pot holders or hot pads, something like that. Sky's the limit with these, but they are super cute. I hope that you guys enjoyed my tutorial. I hope you were able to follow along okay. Remember, if you make this, I'd love to see a picture of it. Post it on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page. Show me what you make with it. I love to see everybody's creativity. So until next time, have a good day. Bye, guys.